forgotten.
Welcome to the Geek Switch podcast, turning you on to everything new and nerdy. I'm Dante, and I am joined with Robin, and we will be joined by Fury here in sometime. He's distracted by hamsters.
Or cars. Cars and hamsters. Maybe there's a hamster in a ball and it's rolling around. It's confusing.
It's driving a Scion.
Crap. Didn't even think about that one, please. Someone.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that you brought that up is pretty... that's terrible. Well, okay.
We are not... They should give us money. Anyway. For mentioning.
I would like a new car. I would not... Actually, I was looking at a Scion for a period of time. I had to replace the PT Cruiser when I got hit, but...
Oh, God.
They're, like, massively customizable, but then I realized everyone is fucking driving them. It's just... Alright, well, welcome to the Geek Swatch podcast, where we discuss different tartans. Yeah. Actually, that would be an interesting podcast.
Oh,
That's a niche. That would be a niche podcast. Like, alright, this is the Mega Man tartan. This is the Zelda tartan. Yeah, it probably wouldn't go over so well.
Not so much, no.
It's the internet, so I'm sure there's a... You know what? I almost kind of want to... I'm slightly curious now. Geek Tilts.
Are you going to go look at tartans? This is what happens when not everyone is here. Or what's probably going to happen when not everyone's on time. And it's strange because I'm on time.
Which is a miracle. Tony is... Okay, so let's go through some changes.
Sure.
We are kind of... We're coming up on our 100th episode, so we're kind of changing the format. We're going to do less blabbling about our weeks. There'll be a little bit, it's like, yeah, you know, I did, I played this, I played that.
But not going through the catalog of these are the best things I've done in the last 2 weeks.
On Monday, I had tuna for breakfast. I don't know why. And then I played Dark Souls for 10 hours. We're gonna pick a topic of the week. We're gonna post it up before we get there so people can actually write in, because we miss having wonderful questions like our pterodactyl friend and a few other people that used to write in. And it seems like we've gotten away from the fun that the podcast used to be. So 100 is like reboot. We have a new intro coming. We have all sorts of new fun stuff coming.
Yep.
We'll have guests. We'll have new people.
New people. Guess his face.
I will find a fucking way to get Mr. Malloy on here again somehow.
No, I don't think that would be too hard because I feel like he's being lured back in by that thing that the both of us also don't have a subscription to currently.
I wanted to eat this week. That's my only excuse.
I have parents in which I live with.
Legendary quest has to be completed because it's one of those things where they're saying like, nope, expansion hits, it's gone. You can't even start it when the patch hits. If you have it when the patch hits, you're fine. But once the expansion comes out, it's gone for good, and it's just like,
Legendary. The cloaks. Oh, so like, because I stopped kind of caring. Somewhere along there, I was building someone's reputation, and would get to a point that's fine. I can continue.
Yeah, and it was, and like they put in. The only reason I've gotten as far as I have is they put in a buff where it's like reputation gain is increased, all the token drops are increased, and I got like two patches worth of the quest done in like a weekend. 2,000 points.
The thing that I saw that I was just kind of like, I kind of want to do that. The thing that seemed interesting that they're nixing, of course, is the heirlooms off Garage, which is like, that's cool, but in the same point, I don't care. As it stands, there's so many changes to this game, I could almost start from scratch.
And that's actually kind of where I'm sitting, is I think for the first time since beta, because I played a fucking paladin in beta.
You are a one-trick pony, sir.
I had a max for Cataclysm. I had a max level druid and a warlock, and a paladin and a death knight. So I did have 4 max level classes, and when I wasn't doing stuff with big crits, I was hiding on my alliance server doing Death Knight stuff.
Yeah, you know how many characters I had at max level prior to like this last expansion? Unemployment.
Yeah, that's what it did for me. Just like grind. Okay. And it was one of those things, and of course people don't know what the hell we're talking about. There's a giant poster in the background that can clue you in.
Come on, have you watched this show before?
It's
What
not
is
like
the thing that brought
like
three of us to this table?
Yeah, it's like not. Actually, I blame Rich. I blame Stony Baby.
I blame him too, in the best way.
Yeah. Oh shit. Fury will be joining us at some point in the next few minutes.
He gave an update.
Yeah, I believe his lube has run out, and the hamsters have crawled away.
Information I don't want. I just don't.
You're the one who's supposed to draw the damn shirt at this point.
Yeah, but how about I take care of several bazillion Amp-Guard related projects first?
But yeah, the new expansion. We talked about it a decent amount on the last podcast, but you weren't here. Warlord's such a fresh, especially with the news this week of.
No more Titan.
Titan is gone. Titan was going to be the Sims mixed. Apparently, it was going to be like the Sims mixed with the Secret World, mixed with Team Fortress 2. And like during the day, your character would be like the Sims, and during the night, it'd be like Team Fortress. And it's like, it kind of sounds awesome, but at the same time, it's like, do we really need another MMO shooter type thing?
Sounds like they were just kind of stretching it. I mean, is that like confirmed what they were doing? Because I was imagining someone actually going to an interview like, yeah, so I worked on this game for like 5 years, and I can't really tell you anything about it. Holy crap, it's the face.
Well, Kotaku brought together various sources that were working on the project and said this is what it's supposed to be. And there's our hamster lord himself.
Jeez.
Hi, I missed you. I decided to show up finally. Thanks for having me.
There we go. There's his cosplay. There's Squirrel Girl and Boy.
I can show up as a giant hamster.
No.
Have you ever seen Squirrel? Like, actually, Squirrel Girl was on fucking Ultimate Spider-Man last weekend, and it's just like really one of the most obscure fucking Marvel characters, let alone Marvel females, shows up.
But has made like in this last year / last couple months. Oh my god, has she appeared in things?
And she takes down the Juggernaut with squirrels.
What?
With squirrels?
With squirrels. Her power is to control squirrels.
You know, to be fair, the mass of an infinite number of squirrels, I think, would be enough to crush the Juggernaut and to smother him with their like furry goodness and cuteness. Yeah.
No, like it's like violent squirrels, like being thrown at him. Like rabid, violent squirrels.
No. This is
someone
actually
gave them
really
rabies
point.
first, and then said go.
Like I know the armor is supposed to make him invulnerable and shit, but what if one of those critters gets inside and just like starts chewing on his ghibli bits? Yeah, I know he's got a helmet.
It's the helmet that gives him the power. I'm just correcting you.
Right, they were
Really?
just like trying to crawl in through the.
I thought the helmet was to
Ruby
protect
something.
him from...
I get confused because my knowledge comes from the TV show, which is flawed. So.
Right.
My understanding, I thought the helmet was there to protect him from
Xavier.
His brother, yeah.
Right, because nothing stops the Juggernaut. But he might pause if there's a squirrel in his pants trying to get his nuts.
Especially considering that armor is like skin tight, basically, sort
It's
of.
always skin tight.
Not
Immediately
skin tight
making
enough.
me think about the controversy over the Spider-Woman cover with her.
There's a cover. There's an exact cover of that with Spider-Man.
Of Spider-Man in the exact same posture, just as skin tight. It's just a little strange because anatomy, butt accuracy is even less so with that picture. It's just like butt's still there.
But,
if anything, they didn't do the giant cavern crack because It's a
Right.
man, and men don't want to look at other mans with butts.
But
Well,
at the same time,
times.
there is also a picture of Spider-Man squatting where you can clearly see his balls.
Penis.
His prolapse?
Yeah.
Junk.
Oh, yeah.
Or as someone who was recently introduced me to a Google phrase called the Hiddleconda. Tom Hiddleston. And apparently sweatpants. And it's apparently a thing on the internet. Yes,
Wow.
Go Google Hiddleconda.
I don't want to.
She's conflicted. She's just like, it's Tom Hiddleston.
It's
No.
Hiddleston.
Was Tom Hiddleston perhaps the target of a hacking attempt? Oh, good God.
I'm afraid I'm not looking because I'd rather not have everyone hear my typing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now that Fury's here, we can kind of get on to the topic of the week. We've all had... Robin's working on Avguard. I'm doing WoW stuff in Destiny. Fury is working out and dealing with
You must be
hamsters.
doing Destiny because you hate yourself.
No. I'm playing Dark Souls 2 because I hate myself.
Oh, okay. Well,
And-
those are about equal.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where I didn't get an instruction manual with my copy, and if
Oh.
you've ever played Dark Souls, there's this fog, and you never want to go into the fog unless you're ready. Except the entire intro area is filled with trees with fog. So I learned from the previous game, don't go in the fog unless you want to, and I apparently completely bypassed the tutorial.
Oh no.
Oops.
And then there's this thing that you can join covenants, which are like guilds.
Well, to be fair,
for
tutorials are
witches.
there to be skipped.
Yes, except for witches. But it's one of them is the easiest one in the game to join almost, and it turns hard mode on, and it's called the Covenant of Champions, which sounds really fucking cool. And I'm like, that sounds like one I would like to join. And then I found out like 4 hours later, going, that's hard mode. I'm like, the game that's already fucking brutal.
Hard mode. It's going to be more hard mode.
So after 5 hours to play and like watching an hour-long video about this is how to play Dark Souls, I restarted a character and in literally an hour and a half accomplished more than what I did in 4 hours.
You should have just watched like How to Dark Souls.
Yeah, I should have done that first. But a little bit of fun news on that is through the Tokyo Game Show for Bloodborne. I guess they showed it to like 40, something like 1,400 roughly people played it at Tokyo Game Show, and like 40 people actually beat the boss.
Wow.
So Bloodborne apparently is harder. And comes out in February. I'm like, that doesn't fall into our categories of things I'm excited about. But I'm not sure if I'm excited about this game or not, or fucking terrified.
How much time do you want to try and learn a game is the question.
It also goes back to there was a video recently where they showed kids playing the first Mario Brothers. You know, the...
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
And it was just, yeah.
Were they massively...
Holy shit, he's logged in.
I'm not!
And the funny thing is, the other two people on the podcast don't have an active subscription.
As he missed.
Till Friday.
I've been playing SWTOR. It's where my boyfriend is.
Bring your boyfriend to WoW.
No, he's not playing. He has not played since Burning Cataclysm.
Burning
Cataclysm. I think that describes my
Burning
last name.
Cataclysm, yes! 2 things. I'm so... fucking, yeah. Burning.
Actually, that expansion would have been badass.
That would have been amazing. This is proof that I've been playing this game way too long. I can't differentiate the fucking expansions. Burning Crusade is when he stopped playing. And I don't think his character got beyond 35. I don't...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, I joined Blarg's Guild last week and introduced a person who's never played an MMO to WoW last weekend.
Oh, do tell us more about
I've
that.
been playing...
It's a terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea.
Awful.
Oh,
Because
God.
we also found out the starter accounts can't join guilds. I'm like, fuck.
Nope.
Ah,
Or speak to anyone.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying. So.
I remember I stumbled upon someone with maybe through OkCupid or something. He ended up being local, and he's like, "Oh, you play this game? I decided I'm gonna play this game too." I get it. We make the same account. We get to the first instance being in Orgrimmar, Ragecharge Chasm. Yeah, he's AoEing one mob. I'm like,
Nice.
bye.
Sorry, this
Bye, I
relationship's
can't
not
do
gonna work out.
This isn't gonna work. Not to mention your pot fiend. Bye.
I will give you a fun one. I actually had an ex that hated me raiding until she got to play and started playing and loved it. And I actually went into the room one night and saw her playing on her computer, and I looked down and she's using the arrow keys. And I'm like horrified at it. I'm like, really? Okay, hun, take your hand, move it over here. See this thing called WASD?
Oh God, there we go. I was just like, wait, why is
I did know somebody who played with the arrow keys, but right-handed, and he moused left, so he'd have more access to the keyboard. But wow, I couldn't do that.
You know, at the same time, I can't argue because I used to play first-person shooters with inverted mouse. So
Ow.
I'll throw this out here too. When I logged off, I was in another guild with a couple other people who left Big Crits for whatever reason.
Remember that guild?
Shrek and yeah. So I log in. All my tunes that were in the guild are out.
Really?
Every single one had been booted. And I just do a little research, and I'm like, okay, Setiana, really cool guy. He's GM now. I was like, okay, I could see GM being handed off to him or him getting it. My good friend Zub, all his tunes are rank 1 in there. I'm like, okay, huh. The only other person that would have had that kind of power, yeah.
Your ex.
I don't know for sure, but I was just like, that's a little petty. But I don't know. Could have been somebody else. I just thought it was really odd.
Oddly enough, my alts are still in Big Crits.
Nice.
What? Oh my God! I kind of almost want to log in and just be like, so where are my tunes right now?
Yeah, it's actually.
I think Bankard's
one.
not in anything.
Well, Neocryptor Alan, who
Increase in that guild, or
I looked in the armory, and she was still listed in there.
Well,
in that guild.
Yeah.
Here's the fun thing:
Not
is
Big Crits.
And bitch face McPants fucker is still.
I think so, but no login activity for a year.
Well, I mean that's about really and truly for all of us because we went pandas and go fuck it.
Yeah. So let me digress real quick. I also just spent the weekend with Langy. Yes, the first to die and the first to get kicked out of Big Crits. He and I go way back, and in fact, I went down south. It was about a 6-hour drive to go hang out with him, and it was a blast.
Is he in Mexico? Because you're in California.
No,
he's in Southern California.
Okay. I keep thinking you're in Southern California for some reason.
No.
NorCal, baby. Not like it really matters. But
No.
yeah.
It does for sanity, from what I hear.
Yeah.
Not medically.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's having a good time down there, and he's happy. So I'm happy. Yeah. So wish you could be there, Robin. We missed you.
Yeah, but if things work well, then there would be, I assume, a reunion this next year.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. We could.
This time.
And I'm not talking about BlizzCon, Dante. Don't get your hopes up.
I'm just hoping. I'm hoping Largsgill is a.
Robin, do you know maybe we could work on the date and just be like,
oh no,
hey, same weekend.
I'd rather
split time.
No, because it's gonna be like over $200 for tickets to BlizzCon, and fuck that noise.
Or how about tickets to Disneyland? You want to go there instead?
And also, fuck that noise.
Screw Disneyland.
Also
Universal. Yeah. I actually know people who work at Universal, so might be able to. Like,
Hey,
poke, poke.
hey,
Give it some
you
play
can.
passes.
That'd be interesting.
Cool. Yeah, but yes.
Yeah,
So
because the last thing
it
we
might
need
be a
is
thing
all of
next
us drunk at the fucking Harry Potter park. That's just a bad idea.
Okay, confession time for anybody who's listening. I know we're dropping a lot of hints. We're kind of dancing around the subject. Langy is having my baby, so he's doing well. He's not showing yet, but sometime next year
Hey,
he will be having my child.
neither of you are showing. My brain is mentally like, so the tiny bit of fat that both of these people had, I think is now on my body, and I need to make sure it's gone by next year. It's like, no.
Well, speaking of this time and next year,
And next
well,
year,
let's
how
talk
about-
about this year.
In a couple months, let's go to our topic that we're supposed
Our
to.
topic of the week, because we have those now. Also, if anyone's curious, I
was
will be
imagining
taking
that-
over hosting duties from Tony for a while.
That was really quick.
that
what's
was
his
very
name?
well done.
Yeah, it's like that guy who used to be okay.
There was somebody else. He had a beard. No, that was somebody
No.
else. Oh,
No.
oh, it's just
No, that's the Japanese-bound immigrant.
right. Simon Jesus.
Well, which we can actually start off to one of the first things I'm actually kind of excited about, gaming-wise, for this fall, is Monster Hunter if you count imports. Because I found out, okay, if you go to like PlayAsia and import the Monster Hunter plus the new DS, because the new DS apparently looks incredibly badass. Apparently, everyone who's gotten to touch the Tokyo Game Show and the whole nub analog stick and the changes think it's actually a better system. The 3D is improved to where you can turn it like at this angle and still fucking see the 3D.
Nice.
So the biggest complaint people had about it, the two biggest complaints, no second analog stick and the 3D viewing angle being kind of shit, are fixed.
Mhm.
Well, without the pack, it's $180, like $172 yen equivalent. So it's
not
like,
bad.
do I wait till March next year or just go PayPal? Here's $220 for the fucking special edition Monster Hunter 4. Send it to me. I'll pay the shipping. It's still going to be cheaper than what I'm going to get it off an import site because PlayAsia wants $400 fucking dollars.
Ah,
I'm like, no. You guys are marking like shipping can't be that bad from Japan because I buy Gundam shit from there all the time.
I'm thinking like, or import. I don't know. That seems.
I
seems
feel
really odd.
to give you an idea, I bought my recurve bow that I bought for Amtgard, which is a Mongolian like horse bow, so big, straight, pretty much packaging. So a very large packaging is like $20.
Yeah, so their markup is ridiculous, and the fact that we have somebody over there where I can go, PayPal, go down the street and fucking buy me a copy and ship it to me, thank you. Or I might put out the money to. I'm still debating whether or not. I was gonna go buy one that would allow us to stream and do like 3DS stuff online, but with this new 3DS coming out, I'm gonna wait probably the half a year it's gonna take for them to mod it out, and just buy another one. Because they'll have US versions for sale at that point, and I'll just have. It's actually a shop in Tokyo, so I'll just have him go pick up one of those at that time.
Nice.
But yeah, they showed it off more at the Tokyo Game Show. It's really getting a lot of good reviews, and because it is a text-heavy game in the way of the quests, but once you like get visual indicators of stuff, and it's one of those Japanese games where they've put enough kind of English into it to be kind of understandable as an import, where I might be okay with picking it up. And there's going to be import games I'll want to play because the new 3DS is still region locked. So it's kind of like one of those things like, it's only $180. That's the price of a 3DS right now. That's really not so bad. Especially get to play something like, 6 months earlier.
Right. Just come at a premium. I got to apologize. I'm not really into the 3DS. I've been.
Tablet? I can't find anything
the
fun to
Shield.
play on tablet. Oh, you have your Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a little more wide open there.
But what other games are you guys excited about?
Civilization for sure. Beyond Earth. I think it's going to be a huge game. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. I'm going to lose hours of my life into it.
Unless
Wow.
you're rating.
Unless, yeah, well, we'll see if that happens. Jesus. I have so much catching up to do. I've only been out for, what, like a year or two, and it's like,
You can skip Myst. It's fine.
Yeah.
Pandas happened.
Right. Right.
Emotions cause evil.
Debating whether or not to try and get that legendary cloak. I don't know. Is it worthwhile?
At this point, I don't think you have enough time.
Oh, is it that bad?
The token drop buff goes away next. Actually, I think it went away Tuesday. So
What?
without the buff, it probably is near impossible. Like, I still have 2 more tokens to go, and I went and did 16 bosses and got 2 tokens with the buff.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Hold
I
on, hold
forgot
on.
how
It's
bad
also-
that it was.
It's also LFR because
Oh. Well.
I'm at that point where I'm so far behind where there's this new wonderful add-on that helps you do. It's like cross-realm LFR for flex
Oh, okay.
and normals. So, but the people are like rejecting, like, your item level's not high enough, your experience is not high enough. So it's like, fuck, I can't even get a flex rate to save my fucking life to get extra runs to get better gear. So at this point, I'm just like, I'm really trying to get those 2 more tokens, which one is a guaranteed drop off a boss.
Right.
Basically was the end boss of Throne of Thunder, but the other part of that fucking next part of that quest has you have to go kill him.
Go do it again.
So it's one of those things. If I do it through LFR,
Yeah.
I have a chance of, if I don't do his instance, I might be able to get the 2 tokens before I go kill him and then get the quest to go kill him, and then everything from that point on is pretty easy to do, but it's catching up to that point. You would have to do 3 sets of token raid quests to get there. Plus rep grinding.
You know what? That's why I stopped caring.
And Valor grinding.
Yeah. Oh.
Which they're removing with the patch, but...
No, hold on.
Patch is
I'm
still-
canceling my account. The patch is really fuck that.
The patch is only, what, maybe 3 weeks out, if that?
Hmm.
And
Is
I...
it- Yeah.
And I think the patch. Well, this is something we were discussing right before you got on. Now that Project Titan is gone, I think they might devote more resources back into WoW, because they've already said they've added people to WoW, their WoW teams, and I think we at least 5 more years of WoW.
So I was discussing that with somebody, and his impression was that WoW 2.0 needs to come along, which I'm kind of like, okay, I see where you're coming from, but in the long 10-year history of WoW, they really haven't done like huge like 1.0, 2.0. They're just continuous updates. So, with that said, I don't know that the extra personnel, I don't know what they do on WoW. I don't know what they could do.
They could upgrade mount models. They could upgrade physics. They could upgrade particles. They could upgrade. They could do not necessarily textures on environment, but environment upgrades. They could do animation
Additional content
upgrades.
to roll out earlier instead of like.
That actually is their plan. They've come out and said, we really screwed up with getting Warlords of Draenor out. We wanted to get it out they wanted to get it out this spring.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see all that, and you know what? I think they would be smarter to do massive graphical updates to WoW itself versus launching an entirely new game.
Well,
because EverQuest did that, and it jaded a lot of players. And the fact that EverQuest is
over now.
Yeah, and the fact that EverQuest is still fucking going. But I think Warlords is that 2.0 in a sense where we're getting the better character models, we're getting the stat squish that is absolutely fucking needed.
Yeah.
Especially like for me when I've been playing, I still love Final Fantasy XIV. I think is still an absolute wonderful MMO. They're supporting the shit out of it. The content coming out for that is consistent, and it is a beautiful game. It is by far one of the best looking games in the market. And the fact that it's like PS3, PS4, and PC all on the same server is fucking wonderful. But I think they've proven that it's like when you're going to that game, you're doing hundreds of points, like 10s, 20, 30, hundreds, maybe even 1,000 points of damage. And then you go into WoW, and it's just like you're doing blah blah million per damage, and it's just like it doesn't feel right for.
It
Especially
doesn't
for
feel
any
like I'm
player.
actually hit. Like that's another thing. Like I remember back in freaking vanilla, I had when I had one of the add-ons where it basically kept record of each of your crits and
Mhm.
like what it was on. I can remember playing my Tauren Druid at the time, going into a battleground and critting on the alliance, like the one of the healers from the Alliance Guild. That was a big deal. Like while we were the big, like Horde Guild, it was just like, oh god, this is the thing I want to remember forever. That doesn't happen anymore because it's like, and here's this big number, and this big number, and this big number, and there's a tiny slight difference in number. It's like,
And I think I
big.
really think Warlords is what all of us really wanted, which was WoW 2.0 without us having to have a brand new game engine, without having to have to
Start
lose
over.
everything we've accomplished. Because I know someone argued last podcast that one of our watchers argued the whole, once you start talking about timelines, fuck it. And it's just like, but it's one of the only viable reasons to kind of restart the franchise without foregoing everything before it. And Star Wars has shown this to be working because they're already they're talking about filming the third new Star Wars film or Star Trek film. Shit, I'm gonna get
you
so
fucked
much.
up.
No, I'm sorry,
I
but
think-
that's worse than my. I'm gonna.
My
mess
fuck up is brought to you by a terrible drink. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. And it comes
wow.
in a huge size.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
$2 too.
It was a choice between that or a quart of milk. It was about the same thing, about the same price. I had to go with the booze. So one thing I really hope is, okay, we get the stat squish, we get all the stuff that makes it 2.0, constant rolling out of content, because what I see is that, you know, they have dailies to try and keep people involved on a regular basis, you know.
Actually, the whole thing with dailies was what turned a lot of people off for Mr. Pandaria.
Right.
And
So-
they realized that was a bad idea.
Right. So I'd like to see more content coming out much more frequently, because just looking at, I mean, it's a fucking year and a half, and it's still Mists. It's still the same game. It's just like, wow.
And,
okay.
well, and you have arguments from things like WildStar, Guild Wars, and Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, like, every 3 months puts out a patch with a new fucking storyline, additional storyline, pets, fucking raid tiers, and it's just like, I had to stop playing it because I skipped a month, and I came back and like, my item level is fucked.
Yeah, so far behind. But here's the thing too. I don't know that you necessarily have to. And I know one of the fears is you put out a lot of content. There's going to be a difficult time catching up if you're out like for one period of time. I think it's possible to offer new content without escalating that curve really quickly. I know it's kind of a weird thing to say, but okay, let's say you put out things that, like eye level XXX. Well, okay, we release new content, now it's eye level XXX, but you now have a push on command character, something or the other that they do. So it's essentially the same equipment, it just does something shiny now, which would definitely keep me interested, and it's a bonus too if I happen to be out. Okay, I missed getting XXX before, but now if I do, it does this too. I'm in.
I think, there's two things that WoW needs to consider, which is I think a quarterly patch/content update post-release would do them well. I don't think because Guild Wars tried to do like bi-weekly, which is ridiculous.
That's really aggressive.
WildStar tried to do monthly, and they had to pull back from it because it was too aggressive, and they weren't pulling it off. I think quarterly is acceptable. If you have a story content or PvP, or like, okay, say every quarter you get a new tier of raid and PvP. That would keep people satisfied, I think, for at least maybe a year and a half to the next expansion.
You know, I do remember the different wings of Icecrown Citadel opening slowly, and that was fine too. That worked out well. I know that WoW subscription numbers, you know, have been going, like, they go up and down, but primarily it's been down. There's got to be something that not only brings people back, but kind of holds them. And I think they're going in the right direction.
I think some of their personnel changes that they've had recently might actually be positive for them.
Greg Street?
People that have left, who knows?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. They'll definitely get a. I hope they'll get a fair shake with Draenor Warlords.
Everything I've seen from the beta, everything that I've had at least hands-on with, I'm happy with. And for me to say that where I was really fucking jaded, where I'm subbed, for exception of the last 2 days, I've been subbed pushing through that legendary, pushing through Orgrimmar just cuz, and I am hating it right now. But I want to be able to get that little bit to be a little jump start. And because I've played the beta, and I go back to the live, and I'm like, I want to go back to the beta.
The game got boring for me when I took like a tiny break and came back, and the group that I was playing with had stopped. Like they'd shifted faction entirely, and it was just like, okay, this was the group of people that I liked playing with because they were fun. They were laid back. It was a nice group of 10 guys. I think only a girl, I can't remember, but like we didn't. There was no yelling. There was no drama. It was just like, okay, yeah, here's stuff I want. We'll just all build, like tank this shit first. Don't care.
So you get to play with adults.
And I think that's true for any game.
Though. Amazing.
I think that is absolutely true for any game. The game could be boring. Like I hate League of Legends with a passion, but there's a group of people I occasionally play with and have fun playing with them.
Yeah.
And that makes the game. It makes me hate the game less. Because there was a point where I did like it, but because the community is fucking shit, we know this. But I mean, the same thing, like Destiny. Destiny isn't the end-all, be-all fucking game it was supposed to be, but there's some people I like to play with, and when I play with them, the game gets 10 times better. I think WoW is a good example of that, where Mist and the drama that happened with Big Crits.
Well,
so much out that
I sure as shit didn't come back for the game. I'm doing it more for the people. So.
I'm more interested in coming back because everyone else is coming back. Like, I would love to play with the people that I made drinks for at that last BlizzCon.
And you know what, Blarg? You have a fucking shitstorm on your hand coming.
I don't think... Not really. If you think about the people that are coming, with their heads on straight.
Well, yeah, but I think his like guild level is just going to go from like here 1 week and then next week and just like,
no, where I'm at.
No. Like everyone that was interested, like this is all casual shit. Fuck that hardcore stuff.
Well, no. I'm not saying like upscale. Like I mean, the people joining his guild all of a sudden.
Oh yeah.
It'll be interesting.
There are people going. Look, I'll give you an example. Claire, who's like, I haven't checked Twitter in a year. Fuck you all. Why are you talking about going back to this? Because we all miss each other. It's plain and simple. WoW is a social game that has a decent action element.
Yeah.
Moving on. What other games are we excited? Well, let's go back to Civ real quick because that is the spiritual successor to Alpha Centauri, and I am fucking excited for it.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it too. A lot of people might think it's just Civ 5 in space. It's like saying that Alpha Centauri was Civ in space. Yeah, there are similar elements, but it's a different game. And needless to say, I'm very excited. It's been long anticipated. If they could do what they did with that, like I expect the change to be as big from like Civ 4 to Civ 5. The changes they made to Civ, even within the game as it progressed all the way up to like Gods and Kings, very well done.
Yes, because they got Sidmir back, I think, because I mean, Alpha Centauri was his. They've taken civilization away from me. I'm going to go make this other game that is far more badass. Because I think it was Civ 3 that didn't have him, and I think it was only Civ 3 and Civ 2. No, Civ 2 was still him. Civ 3 and wasn't there one that was like Civ 2 with like a numeral, not a numeral 2, but like a number 2 or something?
I don't remember.
There was some like knockoff or some weird shit like that, but there was a time period where he was involved with those games, and that's when he made Alpha Centauri and started his own studio and did all that wonderful stuff.
The
Yeah.
only simulation game that I can remember playing was one that came with as a demo with one of them, and it was pretty much you're playing as Rome. Here you go.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it was something like that. It was terrible. Um,
I liked it, except it was a demo, and I kept trying to like build things correctly in a way that made sense for planning of cities and things, and that was just no.
that would make a good topic for another podcast because whatever the fuck happened to demos and shareware?
Oh.
Demos exist. Let's TP
Not on
you know, you
PC
can-
so
PT.
much.
dyslexic much today.
Okay, so
Betas.
I've got theories on that, so we might want to come back to that a little later.
Yeah, that will be.
Or that's a different topic for another day. Makes
Yeah.
All right,
sense.
what other
We can
games
get
we got
into
coming up?
that.
Robin.
Dragon.
Dragon Age.
Yeah, you're horribly excited for that, aren't you?
I'm excited for it existing. I will fully admit I have not played through all of the first game or the second game.
Second game
I
was
just
a little,
like this. It's how the story's built. It's just literally the fact that I have not plugged my system back in to play anything. I'm literally waiting for it to go on sale on Steam to just buy it on PC and be done with it.
The best way to describe, I think, the differences is Dragon Age 1 is like, it reminds me of Baldur's Gate and like typical D&D, where you go out into the world and have these awesome adventures. The second one was politics in a city. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was kind of Mass Effect-y.
Well, it is made by BioWare.
And that's the studio's direction at the time because they were working on Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, and they wanted to have this more focus on a centralized character with speech and Commander Shepard-esque kind of thing. And
they just tried to make it like a more everyman, less of a you've made your character and are running off into this world. And I can see that being kind of irritating. I can remember looking at it, like I have 3 options for characters, and that's it. Like male or female, like so 6 options, and that's it.
It was male and female, and then rogue, swordsman, and like wizard or something. And that was kind of
They don't use those words.
Yeah.
Fighter, warrior. Whatever. I actually took the Grey Warden quest, go get the Darkspawn blood, potentially come back and do the ritual. I tried to do that as a quest. I found out very quickly that people don't like trying to be as a character trying to be forced into a thing. Like I wasn't able to get everyone to drink like blood. When they were pulling things out and like the first one dies and the second one dies, they're just like, why are you killing our people? It's like, we're not killing your people. You guys came here for this. Don't aggress on us. You're aggressing on us? Okay, so we have 1 Grey Warden. I'm the QM. I call this quest over. Guess what? Ferelden's fucked. Darkspawn took over. Thank you. Play again.
And this is coming from a studio that made, I don't know if it was like a pre-existing D&D character that they shoved in, or the fact that the motherfucker is getting his own comic is, of course, about Boo, Space Hamster.
I don't know.
Oh god. See, I'm losing geek cred now. Boo, Space Hamster. There was a character in Baldur's Gate where it was...
Boo! Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes!
It was Minsk and Boo.
Minsk
was a barbarian who is special and has a space hamster.
A miniature giant space hamster. Yes.
If you've never played the original Baldur's Gate, I would actually recommend you go play the enhanced edition before... Did we lose Robin?
No,
okay.
I'm literally looking at my phone because my boyfriend's going to bed and I want to say goodnight.
Well, you were looking at your phone long enough. I'm like, did her webcam freeze?
Nope.
No.
I froze.
No, the message came with the picture.
The boyfriend Conda?
So, miniature giant space hamster.
Yes, miniature. But he's getting his own comic now. And it was... I really wonder if that's one of those characters that BioWare created, because it is one of the best parts of Baldur's Gate and D&D, in my opinion. And I still love it to this day. But Yeah, Dragon Age 3 looks a lot better, and it's using
Free though, it's Inquisition.
it's using the same engine as Battlefield.
Okay.
So you,
I really should just buy it for the PC because it's just going to be easier. It's the fact I've already have one version ordered for, I don't know, it's strange because I'm shifting everything over here.
right,
I
and you
still
can't
have PlayStation 3 sitting in a box.
Well,
can't transfer characters, right, between like PC and console.
You can't transfer characters, but the good thing about consistently playing on one platform is that some of the changes, of course, affect the world in the other ones. It's like, oh, you made Alistair King. Oh, God, I spoiled the game that I haven't even beaten yet. If you make Alistair King, then he appears in 2 as the king of the area, basically.
I will say I think it does control better on PC, and the third game is going to have that more strategic Baldur's Gate overhead, being the traditional control set if you want it.
And there's supposed to be a tiny bit of multiplayer thrown in. You can actually play with your friends, which is like, yes, please give me this, because this is like, it's like taking Borderlands, which we will get to, and throwing the fantasy like back into that 4-player type co-op fun.
Speaking of Borderlands,
Pre-sequel.
Pre-sequel. Yes.
You get to be in an asshole robot.
Oh. My question is...
I have no interest in playing Claptrap at all. I saw those abilities. I'm like, nope, that's random. Nope, don't want it.
My question is, will Tiny Tina be there?
Actually, from my understanding, the plot from one of the interviews is the entire reason you're playing the game is one of the... I can't remember the name, the Siren, was telling the story to and Tiny Tina wasn't in the room. And she comes back in going, "No, I need to hear about it." So
God.
That's the reason you're playing.
It's going to...
it's going to be like the assault on that Dragon Keep or whatever?
Well, no. It won't be her like doing dub overs.
She's not telling the story, but she's the story of the past, or maybe her parents dying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, awkward.
She eventually became little adorable love.
Yeah, so I get it. It's a siren basically relaying the tale, much like Tiny Tina was narrating.
Lilith or is it Maya? I'm assuming it's probably Lilith.
I think it's Lilith. Because Roland is still...
I love Colleen Clinkenbeard so much.
Yeah, because Jack is not the bad guy yet, and Roland is still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely prior to stuff.
So it's basically the bad guys are space pirates.
Well, if they keep that quirky, twisted sense of humor throughout the whole game, I'm in.
Oh, yeah. And the biggest thing that they've come out and said is the characters, even when they're not like in main combat, will randomly be more chatty between the characters when you're doing co-op.
Oh,
okay.
God,
that'll be sweet.
Thank you, because that's something that they just really haven't done.
Yeah.
Like, the one thing that I loved with 2 is when they introduced Krieg, and they had that whole introduction with Maya, and that was so... Did you ever watch that, Fury?
You were chopping up.
That's pretty bad.
Sorry.
My brain is not remembering. The Krieg storyline intro.
Oh,
the Psycho intro.
Yeah, that was strong. I like that.
Was so good. I'm just like, I love this so much. I watched some gameplay footage from some of the guys at Rooster Teeth people went to go play it, and I'm unsure about space battling and gravity and oxygen.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But
yeah,
for the most part, Borderlands has had really good play, a lot of good creative weapons and options out there, and I fully expect, even with the potential awkwardness of space combat, that they're going to do something that's going to make it all worthwhile.
You can butt stomp.
I'm down.
You can basically do the Mario butt stomp from 64 as an attack, which oddly enough is in the new Call of Duty game too.
Huh. Okay.
The Call of Duty game
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. The Call of Duty game that is not Titan's Fall, even though the mini-mech in it's called the Goliath.
There are a lot of mini-mechs called a Goliath. Like, look at StarCraft.
StarCraft.
Or, Fear. I think that's what they were called in Fear as well.
I think you're right.
Yeah, not original.
Yeah, obscure reference. Okay.
But speaking of Mario-style butt stomps, Super Smash Brothers.
I was fortunate enough to get the demo because one of my friends had a Platinum account, and he's like, "Here, have a key," and I'm playing it going, "It's Super Smash on the 3DS."
Yeah.
I'll wait till the Wii U.
Yeah. Okay. Given that there are a lot of Smash Brothers tournaments, still, do you think this game's going to live up to that legacy?
I am excited the fact that Mac is in it. So,
in like 2 different versions.
Yeah, I just think that the screen is still too small.
Oh, for this, yeah. So, I'm looking for the Wii U, looking towards the Wii U release, and frankly, I think so is Nintendo, just to boost their lagging unit sales. This might be like the console game for the Wii U, much like Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation and others down the line.
Well, there's actually a fun little rumor recently, because there's been this stipulation back and forth whether or not the Zelda footage from E3 showed Link or not. Is they kind of hinted like recently again that might not be Link.
Interesting.
And a Zelda game with a possible major female protagonist?
Daughter of Zelda.
Alongside Link, maybe? Like, you can think about a Legend of Zelda game where you can choose male or female hero.
Given the appearance of Link, effeminate male, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Androgynous
that'd be a nice choice.
appeal to both sides.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of women cosplay Link very well. Gotta say, I'm oddly aroused. Ladies. Gentlemen.
Hey!
Too.
Hey!
What?
Horses.
Want to get a drink? Hey! Okay. I'm ashamed by that pickup line. That's worse than my terrible WoW pickup line that I had. Hey,
Moving
baby,
on.
can I raid your instance?
I hope you got 24 other guys because you're not going to be enough, buddy.
Oh.
Oh, man. No.
Okay, so Super Smash Brothers, we did get a preview of all the characters that are supposed to be in there. Somebody leaked the footage of the different
Duck-a-dog!
Yes.
Why?
I'm looking forward to that. A lot of the classics that you'd expect to see, Mario, I think Samus Aran, all them.
Staples.
Yeah, of course. My question is there was somebody had pointed out that the guy at the head of development of this in a previous game had footage from that leak, and he pulled that leaked the footage that leaked a certain character. He pulled that character. I'm curious to see whether or not he'll do that with some of these characters as a result of that leakage.
I don't think so, because with this being a major Nintendo-branded item and the positive response the characters have gotten, they'd be kind of stupid to do it.
So do you think it was a good thing for that leak to happen, or do you think it spoiled something?
Now, here's the thing. Is it a leak, or was it intentional? Because nowadays, it's kind of 50-50.
Given who was producing it, I would say that was not intentional.
It was in the game files, and
I would
people
say,
data mined.
Why? Now, let's not confuse incompetence with leaking. I could see them not expecting that, but at the same time, I wouldn't expect them to do it this far in advance. Honestly.
I think the game is too close. Well, it's already shipped in Japan, so.
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
So, yep, tough. Next game. Who else we got? I know we got The Evil Within, which apparently, from my understanding and from Tokyo Game Show, is about the scariest fucking game since the original Resident Evil. It is the same studio. It's the same creator. So it might be the first horror third-person action game we've seen in a while that actually is scary.
Ooh.
But then again, there's like have you heard of this Five Nights at Freddy's shit? It's fucking terrifying.
No.
Go look it up on YouTube. Everyone listening at home, watching at home, go look it up. It's no. It's basically you have a screen and multiple cameras, and you're trapped in the equivalent of, I would call it Chuck E. Cheese, but another brand. And what basically happens is, as the night goes, they become alive, and they think you're not in your suit, so they want to stuff you into a suit.
Oh my.
And it's fucking creepy as shit, and as the nights go on, they get faster and faster and faster, and it's just, it is nightmare fuel, it is not cool. I was given a free copy of the game, it is on my Steam account, and I still haven't played it for good fucking reason. Like, there's a group out there called Game Grumps. Go look them up on YouTube. They are wonderful. They played it, and I'm sitting here watching them going, no, not going to play this, not going to play this. And I'm sitting there terrified alongside them.
That was me watching Joel and Adam playing PT. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, that was...
Nope.
No. I'm good. No.
I've never had my whole body be covered in goosebumps before in literally no time flat.
The worst one about that is, go watch the Games Grumps one of that, because the guy who's kind of the scaredy cat is playing alongside the guy who had already...
Which one's the scaredy cat?
It's not Ross, it's main guy. Ego. It's Ego playing with Ross, and Ross had already beaten it.
Oh,
so he's fucking with him and going, hey, let's go look at the baby again. It's like, no, I'm done. Hey, let's go to this hallway. Oh, the door's not there anymore. It's just like...
I vaguely met those people at RTX. That whole group was there, and I just kind of wanted to go up to Ross and be like, hi, Ross, I think your wife's pretty.
I think they are
awesome.
Oddly enough, Ross and Ego Raptor and all them are Monster Hunter fans. So they're actually the reason I got back into it, because they did a series on it. And it's really fun if you just go follow Game Grumps. They're awesome. And they do some horrible, horrible things to each other. But no, Five Nights at Freddy. No, I don't like scary games, and The Evil Within looks fucked up to begin with. The new Silent Hill for PS4 was going to be fucked up to begin with. But this is more terrifying than all those combined, because it is that you are stationary in a room and cannot move, and all you can do is close doors, put on lights, and look at cameras. And that's it. And you have a battery that slowly ticks down every time you use something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
What's the proper on-off of everything? Ugh.
There isn't.
I know. I understand. Yeah.
Games that might make us happy versus making us have a heart attack.
Nice. I like how they build the suspense for that. Holy shit. Well done.
Yeah, it's not a fun game. And you could have it on your phone. It's like, no, I don't want to be in public with headphones on playing this.
Throws phone across room.
Yeah. No. I'm good. It would be one of those that it would be fun for us to be all in the same room to play. Sort of drunk.
I think that would go without saying for just about any game.
It's like every time we get scared, take a shot.
I'll just have a straw and some liquor directly.
Oddly enough, I get less scared the more I drink.
Well, yeah, isn't that exactly the... Yeah, that's a good...
We might actually be able to beat the game.
Yeah.
The thing I was thinking about... I just thought of watching, like, my cousin and my brother playing, like, the first Silent Hill. Literally, I wasn't watching them play it because I was just like, this seems weird, I don't want to watch it. They were handing the controller off, like, between them faster than I had ever seen them share a game before. I was like, okay. There's something else was similar like that, too. Yeah.
There was a GameCube game that would purposely fuck with you, Eternal Darkness. And as you were playing the game, because it was very Cthulhu-esque, like, it would say, mute on your TV.
Oh god,
It would
so
break
you're
the
like,
fourth. It's a horror game that breaks the fourth wall. It'll turn your screen black, or it'll unplug your control. It'll say your controller's unplugged. It'll do weird, fucked up shit like
that's
that.
yeah, that's
Nice.
not that's media artsy awesomeness right there. It just makes me think of college. I'm like, oh,
It's awesome, but the first time you're playing it, you're just like, reset. It's still doing it. What the fuck's going on? What? Or like, it won't just mute. It'll just say sound lower, 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 lower.
yeah, you'll see like the volume go. So then you bring it all the way up, and then it's suddenly like, and here's the thing that blows your speakers out.
Yeah, the first time playing that game, that all sorts of no.
That's awesome.
God, I know there's other games. There's the new. I wouldn't call it this fall. I guess it's not out yet, but the new Lord of the Rings that's in between.
Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be good.
It looks good. Some of the things that I've seen about it makes it sound pretty good. Those were all, when working, I hear things in the background. I'm like, that sounds like that might be okay.
The last Lord of the Rings games were kind of shite, so I have high hopes.
And there are some releases of old games. I guess there's a couple of Halo releases or something coming out too.
Yes, the remaster, the Master Chief Collection is going to be one.
Kingdom Hearts 2.5.
Which I might pick up.
I never finished Kingdom Hearts 2, so I'm kind of in that same boat.
Yeah, that could be fun.
More DLC for Dark Souls 2, which
Yeah.
I don't know why I want to. Yeah, I won't play Five Nights at Freddy, but I'll punish myself through that fucking game.
I gotta say, I think even with just 3 purchases, that'll keep me busy for 3 months. Easy.
I will admit I'm. Destiny has turned into a farm fest, but I love it. There's this cave that has this infinite respawning amount of enemies. If you sit in a certain spot and kill the enemies from that spot, they'll continually respawn.
Nice.
So you can just farm this cave. So if you get like 5 or 6 people doing it, when you walk in the cave, because when loot drops, it'll drop to the the corresponding WoW colors of rarity.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you walk into the cave, and because it does have a really good lighting system, there's just these orbs of glowing color everywhere. And it's like, okay, this is it's like this running joke where it's the Cave of Wonder, or there's like a Destiny cover called the Cave of Wonder expansion. And Destiny, they haven't patched it. I think Bungie has accepted how weird cultural this has become all of a sudden, and they don't want to stop it. And I think they're going to take it and I wouldn't be surprised if I see a Cave of Wonder T-shirt.
It makes me think of the by the end of the year. Someone's already creating that right now, and they're gonna put it up on like T-Fury or something. It makes me actually mentioning that made me think about Ngoro Crater back in. Wow, the cave was filled with all the crystals. It's like, oh, color. I just want that wonder again in a game where I was just like, this is so pretty and cool, even though it was not really that pretty.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think
there's got to be something else.
In the scheme of the larger game, do you think this skews anything for the players? I mean, unlimited drops. Things like that. Do you think that's going to affect their long term?
No, it doesn't, because it's kind of interesting because it really doesn't become effective until you hit level 20, and then it's just kind of that's the max level of the game. And as we discussed last week, anything 20 is the max level. This is how we equated it. Anything to get to 30 is item level.
Ah, right.
Oh, okay.
Because you get
grinding painfully past that point.
Yeah, but I've kind of balanced it out because I started doing the strikes, and I think they've made either better rewards in the strikes or something, and maybe did something in the background to not make it as effective to do the cave grinding. And occasionally you'll get this message that says the enemies are planning something against each other, and all of a sudden like elites come out of fucking nowhere and decimate even the level like 28s that are in the area. And this is level 6s you're fighting against. So even though level 6s, when they come in a mass horde of elites, they can still fucking kill you. So I think that's suddenly increased more. So I think the Bungie is like, we recognize you guys are doing this, so we're going to do this counter thing a little bit more frequently, and it's going to disrupt your flow, but we're not going to take it away entirely.
I think I think I like that because it comes with an increased element of risk.
And it is fucking riskful because I got it twice last night when doing it versus. What? Huh? Did they just announce The Incredibles 2?
I think that was the thing that was pending and sitting around for a while.
Interesting. We were actually discussing whether or not we should do like the movies that you're looking forward to seeing the most. About a 3-month window. If you have any thoughts on this, or movies that you'd like to throw out that maybe we should talk about, be sure to hit us on Twitter or even send us an email. So
podcast at geekswitch.com.
Yeah, but not TV.
No, geekswitch.net. Sorry, Geekswitch.
Yeah. No. I mean, does anybody here watch a lot of TV anymore?
When it's the start of a season where, like, Monday I didn't realize Hunter x Hunter, one of my favorite animes of the past couple years, was ending because it's like, it's this pivotal moment. The episode was one of those, it's a pivotal moment in the anime, in the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, they're going to do this episode, and we're going to either have a week break or next week they're going to start the new arc and all that, and it starts doing that elongated credits. I'm just like, whoa!
Nice.
Yesterday I watched S.H.I.E.L.D., the new episode of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Fitz.
Poor
Fitz.
I relate to Fitz relationship-wise now, so Fitz is my new favorite character.
I'm waiting to binge watch S.H.I.E.L.D., so don't spoil it too much.
Not really saying anything other than it's a very well-developed character, extremely well-developed little character art for someone that's not like main or focus.
Okay, but remember, if you're going to binge watch S.H.I.E.L.D., you must watch Captain America 2 at some point during the season.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, and
knocked that out.
Technically Thor too.
Yes, I think you have to watch the Thor: The Dark World a third of the way into the season, and
that's okay. I'll probably knock it out here pretty soon.
There's probably something sequentially put out for it, really.
Yeah. Okay. Because there is a post-Thor movie episode and a post
Captain America. Definitely post-Captain America one. That's so good.
But is that okay? Are we on the third season of S.H.I.E.L.D. or the second season?
Second.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first season, like, it got a little bumbly until like stuff started falling in from the movies and you could see what was going on, and then it just wow. Like,
but didn't they do like the whole break thing too, where half a season?
Maybe.
Okay.
No, because they're in a correct season span. They're not like freaking.
I think there was like a period where there was like 2 weeks where they were off or something. Though.
Well, that's the holidays.
Yeah.
So, are there any other TV shows that you're keeping up on, Robin?
Gotham.
Walking Dead. Supernatural starts again in 2 weeks. Then, unfortunately, Supernatural and S.H.I.E.L.D. are going on at the same time, and because what happened in the last episode of Supernatural, I'm going to be watching Supernatural.
Okay.
It's you can shake your head as much as you want, Dante. It's more of the fact that, this is the girlfriend's house that I went over to go see this stuff was always talk about Supernatural. So Supernatural is going to be the thing.
Supernatural seems to be more female-focused of a show to begin with.
There's a lot going on that I definitely would say this is a little bit...
I think there's more fangirls than fanboys.
At some point in time, I think I'll check out the show.
All 9 seasons of it that exist already.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's good. There's a little jumping of shark that you see kind of happen, and then it kind of it just keeps going.
Okay. Might check it out. We'll see.
How many apocalypses can we stop?
Well, to be fair, Buffy and Angel would do that.
Yeah, but
basis. Or seasonal at the very least.
Yeah, and
So, yeah, used to that. But as far as myself, not a lot of TV watching. So I think
Gotham. You got it. I have high hopes for Gotham because I think it's going to be more mob based. I'm really hoping it's more mob based.
It might be. It'll be something interesting to watch. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to make sure I caught up on.
I heard Forever was pretty interesting.
Someone said something about that, but I have no way to maybe remember anything about it.
So my understanding, it's about a doctor, like autopsy doctor-esque thing where he died. He's like forever 32 or something, and he's died multiple times, and it's the guy that played Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah, that one did look interesting. I mean, the premise is really nothing new, but you know,
oh shit,
the execution is good.
Shit, I completely forgot. Legend of Korra season fucking 4.
4?
Yeah, they're starting
I'm
season
behind
4.
2 seasons.
Yeah, no, like season 3 just finished a month ago, and they're like, by the way, book 4 starts in October, and we're like, what?
Nice.
I haven't watched past 1. I should go about finding those in a non-discreet manner.
And then, actually, they just announced today, as long as you have a registered, I guess, Toon Disney or Disney XD or whatever fucking account, you can watch Rebels premiere like a week early. And I am really, the more and more I see of Star Wars Rebels, the more excited I am for it.
I saw
the fact that I've seen
looked good.
Buses in other countries with this stuff plastered all over the side of them. It just seems so cool.
Actually, one of the coolest things is that I've noticed is like the weird alien sidekick character in Rebels is kind of the design that Chewbacca was supposed to be originally, like through the concept art.
Yeah,
and that's the big thing about Rebels is a lot of it's based around the concept art for originally for A New Hope. So like the main character, it kind of is possibly what A New Hope could have been is kind of.
Fair enough.
That's kind of what Chewbacca was supposed to look like. And there's actually a trailer we're going. They're like trying to break into some Imperial facility, and like he does a Wookiee roar, and they like the Imperial troopers look up at him and goes, "You're not a Wookiee," and I was just like, "Aha!"
Like the clip that I saw with I forgot the name of the cat type races. I'm just like, that's so cool.
They see the biggest fear everyone had was like they're gonna fuck the expanded
Those are
universe.
in Sotor.
Yeah, well, they're gonna forgive. You know, the expanding universe is gonna be blown out of the water. They're not gonna give a shit about it anymore. And the Inquisitor, the Sith Inquisitor. Well, no, they don't even say it's a Sith Inquisitor. They just call him the Inquisitor. Mm-hmm. He does have a lightsaber. They do not declare. I don't think they declare him actually to be Sith, because you can be dark side and not be Sith.
This is true. Still be technically Jedi.
Correct. He actually is in the expanded universe, dating back to the original RPG tabletop by West End. So we're talking like hardcore, like expanded universe shit. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Or the fact that like the main Imperial bad guy, the main Imperial officer, is like very hands-on, special forces kind of a guy, and it's like they're not shying away from this in any way, shape, or form. It feels very old school Star Wars. It doesn't feel prequel Star Wars.
Sounds like there's a lot of promise, and at least a fair amount of hat tipping.
I think they're betting a lot on this because of the tie-in to 7 and the books and all the merchandise. And it's Disney. It's also, you have to remember, it's Disney's first Star Wars product.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering too if this is like a nice way to say we're sorry, but we're changing canon, so that the big Star Wars fans, because let's remember, a lot of them are the parents now. You know, they're going after the kids. Like they want the parents to go and spend money. They want the kids to spend money.
It's grandchildren. It's leaning on grandchildren now, not for nothing.
I think Disney's best interests are in making a lot of people happy.
And I think them pulling from the concept art is a good start. And they have said they're going to start this series a lot lighter than Clone Wars got. this Clone Wars to get dark.
You know, I'd almost expect this to be like Marvel's take on their characters and universe.
It
versus,
is.
say, like Sony's take on Marvel's heroes and universe.
To my understanding, Disney is taking the approach with the cross-universe thing where the books and the series will affect the movie and vice versa. It's going to be all interweave, just like they're doing with Marvel.
Like, if you do it right, it's going to work out well. If you are like Lucas and you're too tied up in perhaps ego and lose sight of the fact that there are a lot of people who are quite invested in something that, yes, you created, but it's now kind of theirs. I think Disney is smart enough to realize that happy people buy more stuff, and if people are satisfied with the story and how things are turning out, they'll buy more stuff.
And let's face it, Disney likes to make money.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Lucas, because fuck it. I can't say that. Never mind. Maybe too focused on making money.
Yes.
It's 11:30, just about my time, guys.
Yeah. So how about we wrap this up?
I will. Well, let me throw in one quick more Star Wars thing because this did break this week or last week between the podcasts. Weird thing between J.J. Abrams and whoever is just Zack Snyder. They've been doing this like weird back and forth Twitter/Tumblr thing where there's a picture of Superman in a like Sith robe with a lightsaber, and then the JJ counters with like it was something like R2D or C3PO with a cape and cowl on like a Gotham cityscape tower, and like there's just been weird back and forth between them. Like it's really fucked up and screwy and very fanboyish. And it culminated this week with this video of JJ, supposedly JJ shooting it, or one of his guys, of the Falcon, full fucking prop built fucking Falcon, and they're kind of going under the undercarriage, and they're going along, and then they zoom up, and part of the Falcon is a tumbler from Batman, like one of the toys, attached to the Falcon. And they call it a hunk of junk, and it's just like, it's our first real look at the Falcon, and it's the fact that they built the Falcon to scale, and they are close enough where you can see like rust in detail, and you're just like,
oh man,
the fanboy in me is like, oh my god, they did it! It's real.
The artist fabricator in me is just like fawning.
Nice. And it's just one of those things like, I don't care about the tumbler. Holy shit. I know that the X-Wing from like a month ago or 2 months ago was amazing, but it was just like to actually see the Falcon again, and not a CG, not a blue screen, not them sitting in the cockpit and they fill in the rest with computer generated, but the fact that it's physically fucking built is amazing.
Yep.
And that restores so much faith I have in Star Wars.
Well, here's hoping they'll actually put it to good use.
There was also the rumor today that there's like they have a couple hundred.
Dante, trying to wrap it up. God damn!
You're so excited, and we're trying to stay on topic, and then we're like done with our topic. Then we go.
It's stormtroopers, and then apparently it's bloody, but that was the other rumor.
So you can catch me on Twitter at not Furioso. Send me a tweet. What TV shows, what movies you want to see?
Yes, we want to know what
Send
TVs
me
are coming out.
tweets.
Remember,
I'm
at
YT Rain, RAHNE.
And I'm at Kierwin.
3 there.
It's late. We're random.
Yes. Go night-night.
I like that.
Play. Till you see you next time. Play.